Jeffrey joins me to look at some of the trends on social media.
Nigerians are talking. As always, our responsibility is to ensure that their voices are heard. So we see what you're saying across board on different issues, and we will reel them out today on the program. But what caught my attention is, I don't know whether to call it an intervention of the government when it comes to the cement industry. From your story, we understand it's now going to range between 7,000 to 8,000. I don't know whether that's to call it a positive news, because if you know where it's coming from, it was gearing towards a 100% increase at the end of the day. Because I went to buy one day and 7,000, then it moves to, I was doing some small rehabilitation. From 7,000, it went to 7,300 in a space of about 2 or 48 hours or so. So it's something that is very disturbing. And one of the things we're looking at in that space is we may also be talking about the oligopoly in that space, that particular phenomenon in economics called oligopoly. We may have to expand that space for a lot more players to come in, so that naturally when you have a lot more players, supply increases, prices crash. It's simple economics. So maybe the government needs to empower more people. And
you're right about the uncertainty about that intervention, because the manufacturers are saying that once the federal government intervention has been achieved, so what's that intervention and how long are we going to wait before the price comes down? Let's jump into what you're saying. This is, well, we call it discos now, but you know, Nigerians we're used to NEPA for a long time. So when you hear NEPA in Nigeria, it talks about power. It's been epileptic, as you know. They come in and off, and they've been complaining about gas. So this person, Bukola, maybe read that particular name for this one is.
This is, it says Village Para says Presidential Villa owes 923 million to NEPA, because they reeled out some of the agencies of government that are owing them. So that's why it trended. Police owes 1.4 billion. Office of the CBN Governor owes 1.6 billion. Altogether, the federal government and its agencies owe NEPA the sum of 47 billion. Meanwhile, citizens are expected to be up to date on payment. So, presidency and everybody concerned, the police, CBN, the headquarters of money, they are calling you out. Let's go to the next one. Nigerians are calling for leadership by example this morning, and rightly so. Speaking of which, this one from Bernard is hilarious. Brother Bernard says, Ministry of Power is owing NEPA bill. ECOWAS is owing NEPA bill. World Bank is owing NEPA bill. Aso Rock is owing NEPA bill. Interesting. INEC is owing NEPA bill. This Shakpa don't catch everybody. Well, Jeffrey, you may have to help us out with that. Shakpa, what does it mean? No, I think it's a Western term. I don't know. You guys will be able to say. Like Sakpa, like Jakpa is traveling. Sakpa is suffering. Hunger. Okay. So when Sakpa touch you, you will know how far. Okay. May Shakpa be far from us. Amen. This is so everybody. I'm even curious when you go to some power stations or some discos offices and they're using generator. Is quite hilarious to see. This is Jagani, who says Ministry of Power and the Presidential Villa owing NEPA bill. Sorry, we call it NEPA bill, by the way. This is the funniest and saddest thing I've ever seen. The mismanagement of the affairs of this country is out of the world. Bukola, next. This one is from Mr. Slim Jim, and he says, I thought all these ministries were supposed to have like an allocation for things like NEPA and the likes from their budget. Why Ministry of Power go deal? Oh, bill. So I think what is going on now is that, I think what is going on now, you know, they've been talking about recouping investment and all of that, and they are now saying, look, let's call out the people that are owing us so that you guys will not just blame us for everything. Let everybody collect. That's how we say it in Nigeria. So Mr. El Bonga says a country where its Ministry of Power owes close to 100 million in electricity debt can't guarantee electricity to the generality of Nigerians. This is in addition to other government MDAs that owe AEDC 47. AEDC, by the way, is this code that distributes for Abuja area. 47 billion naira in electricity debt. Wow. Well, this one is from Ms. Tosin, and she says, I believe, what metrics did they use to calculate the outstanding bill? How are some offices owing up to billions? Good question. Even if it's 8 years safe, even if it's 8 years, that's what she means. Are they saying some of these offices used over 300, this should be billion naira, or well, we can't read your next line of electricity every year. I smell a thieving rat in the Ministry of Power. All right, this is from Olabumi. It says, Ministry of Power, they owe, this pigeon, by the way, owe NEPA bill care, Nigeria and Nollywood. Who they direct this film? Okay, so yeah, quite hilarious to see that. But this is not the first time. But this time, the Ministry of Power to come, or the discos had to come out to say, okay, perhaps the reason why you're not getting light is because when people are indebted to us, so let them pay their money, including the presidency. So President Bola Tinubu, where you stay is in debt. They will turn off your lights soon. That's just a joke. But let's play at that.
Let's go to the next subject this morning. Ibadan protest is also part of the trend. And Infinite Blopper Reel says, protests won't solve anything. Good citizens should support the government rather than disrupt the peace. Just go through these baby steps of pain. Baby steps of pain.
Well, people have a right to protest as long as it's peaceful. Whether they want to protest every day for the rest of the year is within their right. What we fight against or what we speak against is let it not be violence, let it not result to anarchy. So people have a right to protest. We must say that. As long as they are not disrupting the peace, it's absolutely within their constitutional right. All right, Zionist Machine says they need to be patriotic security. They need to be patriotic security agencies should stop them immediately before things get out of hand. Okay, did it go violent? I didn't get a memo.
We didn't get that
We didn't get a memo. I don't think anything was violent. So I don't know whether someone has information we don't have. Bukola, next one.
Adnan Abdullahi Adam says Tinubu must tread with caution. He must do what's right. The suffering is unbearable. No spokesperson or tons of lies and propaganda will convince the citizen that the economy is going in the right direction. Hashtag cost of living.
I think let's go to the Naira falls to 1,700. Almost amplified. To $1, who would believe that Naira will go as high? I don't even know what to say. $1 to 1.7. That is 1,700 units of the U.S. currency to our. No, one currency of 1 unit of the U.S. currency to our 1,700 units.
And you know,
and let's not even go to the pounds.
At the beginning of the administration was about 500 naira to the dollar.
Okay, that's the impact of floating the naira, by the way. Afolabi Awe says we are not expecting the change soon to be drastic appreciation of the naira. The change we want is stability. The current instability is really distorting all macroeconomic markets, holding speculation, and what have you.
And Ugly Son, what a name, says, all credits to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, creative minds proposing real-life solutions. We must learn to be innovative to grow the naira. We must not be importing air conditioners to ease the heat while putting pressure on naira. May that succeed.
All right, Shugo says naira to 1,700 naira to $1. Please, where are we going? A big question. The federal government will have to answer that. I think we have a few more tweets. I think
maybe we should go to the next theme, which is the EFCC. And Nigeriannoise.com says, sorry to burst the bubble of Nigerians. This does nothing. Money changers exist all over the world. They are not responsible for naira rates. This is chasing shadows. Tomorrow, the operators will be back in their seats. It's all showed.
So I think I understand that there was a bust at one of the areas in Abuja where BDC's operators do their thing. So the AFCC invaded the area because they are concerned about hoarding. Yes, that's a video. Yeah, so we saw this video, I think, yesterday, if you're on social media, where the EFCC rained in on the area where, the BDC operators are operating, and that caused a lot of uproar across board. So
I guess that's what Nigerian Noise is saying about
that's the reaction to all of
systemic issues that need to be solved beyond this raid on the base of the BDC operators in Abuja.
There's a lot going on in our country, we hope. So those are the visuals that we saw yesterday. Let's take more tweets now from Post on X, I beg your pardon. Akorede Omaba says, I don't know what to think about this, but where are these guys seeing the FX cash they are trading with? I'm assuming CBN is not giving them the supply. Excuse me. So where are they getting the supply? Regardless of the situation, they should leave the streets. There's no sane society where foreign currencies are traded on the streets like groceries. I think that's his perspective, and it's a good one. Okay.
Yes. Ishola says, wait, that's like saying, wait a minute. Isn't the CBN giving dollars to the commercial banks and from them to the BDC? That's another good question. Can't the CBN revoke the license of the BDC for a while working on putting our economy back on track? Somebody should come to my aid, please, because I am confused. Ishola?
Well, the economy is... thank God, excuse me, Ladi's going to join us at some point to explain some of these things. But at the end of the day, one of the concerns that was raised is the issue of arbitrage. You know, the people just go to banks, and we have FX liquidity problem. And we try to do as much of FX creation as possible, but we're not producing enough. So all of this to get our receipts in terms of dollars is not as much. So sometimes this thing just circulates. It's not as if there's productivity in the system. So somebody collects from the bank at when it was pegged maybe $400 and goes to sell in the black market or parallel market for 700, makes millions of dollars or millions of naira by simply the creation of that arbitrage and all of that.
Yeah,
so
and that speaks to the position.
That's why it was floated. So let's close that gap.
Yeah.
But it's going out of control and it's on a free fall. Let's see one more. Olamide says that EFCC should channel this energy at banks for financial corruption. The banks are the problem here. They are the ones supplying the BDC operators dollars. BDC operators are just opportunists taking advantage of our rotten financial system.
Yeah, thank you so much for your questions and comments. Of course, we'll be putting them through to our correspondent who will be joining us to explain some of these things to us and what government is doing, should be doing, that it is not doing. So it promises to be an interesting time out, as always, on the Morning Brief. Stay with us. We'll be right back to begin unpacking our package for you.
I like that line. Let's go.